Did you know more than 90% of people quit their New Year's resolutions by the end of the year? Why? We're going to talk about why, and more importantly, how to not be a part of that statistic. I really think it's very valuable to break this down and really look at the scientific reasonings why this is happening. So first we're going to talk about the staggering statistics, right? 90% of people, but only 30% of people actually make a New Year's resolution. So out of 30% of the population, 90% don't make it to the end of the year. And out of that 30%, 23% stop in the first week. Right there, so there has to be some common sense things going on that are easily to understand, right? We should all be able to agree that's a pretty staggering number. If only 30% of people are making a New Year's resolution, and out of that 30%, 23% quit in the first week. And over the length of a year, 90% of that 30% don't make it. So why are only 10% of people making it? Why most people quit is because, for one, they don't make a committed decision, but more importantly, they're just willy-nilly. They're not actually thinking about what they're saying or doing. They have an idea, man, I'd really like to do this year, and so they make a New Year's resolution. They really don't map it out and plan it out and make it something that they really want to achieve. It's really hard, especially with your programming, to accomplish anything if it's not a massive desire. Because when times get tough, we'll stop, right? And so you can watch some of my other videos. I've really delved into desires and being obsessed. But the next thing I'd really like to talk about is most people quit because they're not willing to make a committed decision. And we've talked about this quite a bit on this channel, that it's all or nothing, right? People really feel like, man, I missed a day. So, right? They don't understand why they missed that day. They missed that day because it's not a habit, right? You have to do something at least 66 days to change the average habit. So in the beginning, you really got to work on forcing yourself to take that action. So the psychology, I believe, from my perspective, behind the failure is it's all or nothing, right? I know YouTubers that were doing really, really well and they missed a week and they feel like a failure and they've never posted since, right? They let the perfection, the fact that, oh, I fell off this week, instead of just shaking it off and getting back into the routine of creating more things. It's the same thing when we're trying to work on goals, right? We go a week and we didn't do anything, and then all of a sudden we just stop doing it because we feel like a failure, right? Which is directly linked to our self-esteem. So I really would ask you, when you become aware, oh man, I didn't do this thing for 3 days, really stop and think. This is how you start to change your mindset. I know my paradigm's screaming at me right now and telling me just to give up because I'm a failure, but I'm going to persevere and I'm going to keep doing it. Eventually, you won't have that negative feeling anymore and you will complete what it is you're trying to do. You just have to keep doing it. Really, quitting to me isn't failure. Failure in my mind is you tried something that didn't work, so you look at it and you refine it and you try it again, right? We need failure to grow. We can't become who we want to be without growing, and the easiest way to make us grow is by failing. right? It's not a failure unless you quit. I really want you to understand the differences between quitting and failing. Failing helps you grow. Quitting erodes your self-esteem. Every time you say you're going to go on a diet and then you don't, that erodes your self-esteem. Every time you say you're going to go to the gym and work out and you don't, that erodes your self-esteem. You're the only person who has lied to yourself and knows every lie. This is why most of us don't have, and me included, don't have a lot of self-esteem in the beginning when you're starting these journeys. Because you've lied to yourself. Some of us thousands of times. You keep saying you're going to do something. That's why I really want you to stop and write down and think before you start just willy-nilly making commitments to yourself. That a lot of these things, it's really a good idea to do one thing at a time so that you can stay focused and determined. Right? I have friends who make plans with a gajillion people, and then when the day comes, they don't realize they overbooked a bunch of things, and they're always trying to make excuses or talk themselves or backtrack out of the commitments they made. All because they didn't just write down. Hey, I told Jen I was going to meet her at 8 a.m. Hey, I told Donnie I was going to meet him at 9 a.m. Hey, I told my dad I was going to meet him at 10 a.m. Right? They just, during the week or during the month, they've made all of these plans on this one date, and then that date comes or the day before and they realize what they did. And it's just a pattern, right? They never change it because they don't want to put the work in. So a lot of times just being able to avoid quitting, honestly, the easiest way I found through my observation and my own personal life is I really look at things that that I say I'm going to do. Right? If I say I'm going to do something, I make sure I do it because I know how a direct link to my self-esteem it is every time I don't do what I say I'm going to do. So I don't make a bunch of promises. If you guys could learn the power of saying no to people, your whole life would change. Sometimes you can't just run over to someone's house every time they need something from you. You have to have boundaries and say, no, I can't right now. If you would have gave me 48 hours notice that you needed something, absolutely. But I can't drop everything I'm doing because I'm important to me. And if I don't spend time on me, I'm never going to get to where I want to go. It's not that you don't love them or want to help them. Right? When people come up to me and say, hey, can you do this thing on whatever date? I say, maybe. Let me look at my calendar. I'll get back to you. And then I take the time to look and see if I'm available or not. Because I don't want to have to tell them at the last minute, hey, sorry, I forgot I had this thing, right? And to wrap all of this up, we're gonna keep hammering on mindset because it's the most simplest thing, I believe, to really start to change your life with everything. If you want to make a New Year's resolution and you want to do it all year, you have to change your mindset. Once you change your mindset and you know, if I do these little inputs every day, I'm going to achieve more than a half. You don't have to fixate on the end. Just, I'm going to be better, or I'm going to be better at communicating, or whatever it is you're trying to do this year. I'm going to work on my bank account. I'm going to work on being more diligent with my money. I'm going to work on how to have meaningful relationships. I'm going to work on how to communicate with my spouse better, or my children, or my boss. Or I'm going to be better about getting up an hour early and studying, or whatever it is. You have to change your mind. Your mindset is key. And it's the very bare minimum basics in the beginning, I believe, the foundation that sets us up, or we end up quitting. Right? So if you just took some time and wrote down for 2024, what things did you want to do? And I don't want you to beat yourself up. I want you to become aware that you wrote these things down, or you said you were going to do these things and then you didn't do them. Why? And I want you to keep asking yourself why until the thought comes to your mind of why you didn't do it. One, your paradigm's holding you back and doesn't let you believe that you could actually have that. Right? Our brains, there's so much information coming to us that our brains are designed to keep us safe and comfortable. So it will have us do the bare minimum wavering of our program. It wants us to be in our program, even though we might not like the program. It doesn't know that because it goes off of repetition. What do you think about the most? Oh, you think lack and limitation? Okay, that's what he likes. Oh, you think prosperity and abundance? Oh, that's what he likes or she likes. Most of our problems is we worry about all the things that we don't want to happen, and we never change our mindset to focus on the things that we do want. Once you understand that, your whole life starts to change, I promise you. This isn't just, I've studied hundreds of people for a decade. I've changed my life tremendously, I promise you. This stuff works. So if you're gonna make a New Year's resolution, I would write it down. I would really look at it. Is this something you want strongly? Because if you don't, you're not going to do it, because your program is going to override you. Your program is going to try and override you. So you need something that you got to become sick and tired of something and really want to change if you're going to do it. Because it's easier not to do anything. And I know that might hurt some people's feelings, but that's just the truth. I want this thing. The problem is it's easier not to do anything to get it. So I'm going to do the easiest thing, which is nothing. And my 2025 is going to look just like my 2024, which look just like my 2023, which look just like my 2022. So thanks, guys. Please like and subscribe. We got one quick thing and really simple thing, and it costs $20, is to buy our journal, New Paradigm 90-Day Challenge, and just start filling that thing out. It will change a habit or two and your mindset. You will start, through repetition, unconsciously, you will start to change. Right? Sometimes we need to quit thinking so much and just do. Right? So it's on Amazon, or check us out. We got a 30-day course on school, New Paradigm. I mean, we've really put a lot of time and effort into it, and it's packed with 30 days of activities to really help you create your dreams and goals and whatever you want to become in life. So thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.